Ashdeen Lilaowala is an award-winning textile designer, author and curator known for his research and revival of the Parsi Gara. Ashdeen studied at the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad, and then conducted extensive research for the Ministry of Textiles on the topic of Parsi embroidery, which took him on an extensive journey, an incredible journey, throughout India, Iran and China. So I have the privilege of doing this interview in the most vibrant studio with hundreds of years of Parsi craftsmanship and craft. Thank you so much, Ashdeen, for your time.
My pleasure.
What inspired you towards this work of reviving the Parsi Gara?
So I started studying textile design at the National Institute of Design, Ahmedabad. And when I was studying, I was very interested in textiles, and especially like the connection was always there to Parsi embroidery. And then when I did my research, I worked with the UNESCO Parsi Foundation in New Delhi. And that's where I kind of studied the craft, and I traveled to China, to Iran to kind of trace the roots, and the roots ROTS and ROUTS, and that's when I discovered this multifaceted craft, which had grown with so much history, and there's so much different cultures involved. So that kind of piqued my interest, and I kind of wanted to take it further. And so after working many years in the industry, I started my own label. And that's when the Ashdeen label started in 2012. And we decided to work with the Parsi Gara tradition, but to kind of contemporize it.
My mother also has a sari that she bought from you for Navjot. Could you share the culture, the tradition and the story behind the Parsi Gara?
So Parsi Gara started when the Parsis of India started trading with China. So they started taking cotton and opium from India, and they sold it in China, and they brought back tea, which was a very expensive commodity, and got them lots of profits. And while they were in China, they saw these beautiful embroideries being done for the European market as screens, as shawls, etc. And the idea was that they thought, why not do something for our women on a sari? And that's where the idea of a Parsi Gara came about. So legend has it that the first sari was made like all 6 yards with full embroidery. But the Chinese craftspeople hadn't seen the women how they wore a sari. So the designs were more like a tapestry or a drawing. So then slowly, when the women also started traveling and more input was given and the trade started flourishing, that's when the inputs were from India, from the women in India, and that's the craft. It grew, massively grew, and it became extremely popular in the early part of 20th century. And the women kind of loved the beautiful birds and florals which were rendered in Parsi Gara. So in the tradition, it was done very realistic. So here you can see the chrysanthemums, peonies, birds, butterflies, all very realistic and rendered as if they were painted with a needle. So that is what
very
intricate work. So that is what Parsi Gara is all about. And we as Zoroastrians also have reverence for nature. And we worship nature, and we worship all forms of it. So this was a beautiful amalgamation of craft and our values and culture which came into the tradition.
What is one teaching from our religion that enabled you to develop life lessons that still remain with you?
I think one of the key things which I learned as a child and all, that our religion has the good and the evil. And your choices actually tell you to, you as a young adult, after your Navjot is done, after you wear your Sadra Kasti, you make these conscious choices. So you make a good choice or a bad choice. And then you have to live with your choices in that sense. So I think it somewhere keeps you conscious and if you wear your sada kasi and you do your prayers, it keeps you conscious enough to make these good choices. And kind of so it's not about making a bad choice and then just saying sorry. So I think
it's about living with the consequences
of your choices.
Exactly.
And I think that's where has been key, and also to do good to everybody so that good happens to you.
What are your suggestions on keeping our community alive and vibrant even among the future generations?
I think first and foremost, we are a very small community.
That is
so I think to keep it alive and to keep it going, we need to realize what a fantastic faith we practice.
Yes.
And I think that's when, if kids at a young age realize that and realize the importance of the different principles we have and what religion stands for, I think there will be a connection and there will be more, kind of involvement. So I think it's okay. At all levels, we need to stay connected with the youth, and I think that's when the youth gets involved. And also we need to practice the religion in its glorious form, of celebrating the religion and things like that. So engage in customs, rituals. And today with social media, it's wonderful to see Zoroastrians across the world celebrating different occasions and things like that. And when the youth participates in all this, they would realize the importance and the significance, and I think that would keep the flame going.
It was wonderful meeting with Ashdeen and learning about the history, culture and traditions behind the Parsi Gara.